Today we're going to talk about SOVT exercises. What does it mean? How can a straw help you? Let's talk about it today. Hi and welcome to today's video. In case you don't know me yet, my name is Freya. I'm a professional singer and vocal coach from Germany. You may have heard of the term SOVT. This is a term that means semi-occluded vocal tract, which means your mouth is partially closed. When you sing partially closed vowels or sounds, such as and there is some resistance. It's not all the way open, or like the NG as in sing. That is an example for partially closed off something here. Your vocal tract per se is not closed off, but what happens is that the airflow it's not restricted, but it's almost like there is a resistance somewhere. And that happens after the vocal cords. So the vocal cords are not affected. What is affected though is your airflow. What it can help you with is minimizing strain. Because you can't push too much air out, it really helps you to not push too hard against the vocal cords, which is often the case. And it helps you to create better subglottal compression, meaning you have more density in the airstream that comes, that is created by your support that moves through your vocal cords, which is always a good thing if you're trying to sing a nice, intense, and controlled pitch. Now, of course, we're going to use a straw for some of the exercises, but here's the thing. You can use a straw, and I know there are companies out there that sell expensive straws that are supposed to be designed especially for singers. They're like, you can pull them out and retract them and put them in your pocket, which can all be really useful. However, I'm going to show you some exercises that you can do without a straw, where you can actually do an SOVT exercise also. So there are sounds that you create naturally, and that's why we actually do these exercises that imitate what you do when you blow through a straw. Now, the size of the straw, of course, matters. The smaller the opening, the harder you're going to have to push, the more you're going to have to compress the air in order to push it through, because there is, that resistance there. The bigger the opening, the easier it's for you to push air through, so you don't really have to use your support that much. I know there are probably some devices you can use where you could just change the opening, but you can make it really easy. Now, I'm a minimalist. I don't spend money on things that are not that I couldn't solve in another way. And you can just reuse a regular straw. I happen to have a stainless steel straw because that's what we use in our house. We don't buy plastic straws anymore, haven't for years. But what you can do is, in order, you can use the regular size, or you can put your finger on just, to partially cover that hole to make the opening smaller so you have more resistance. Now let's do one thing first. Let's just take a deep breath. Always make sure you have good posture. You take a nice deep breath, expand your ribs, and then just push out air without anything else, just like kind of goes out very quickly, right? You get rid of all the air within like a second or two. So the air is gone. Let's use the straw and let's see how long it takes now if you push outward to actually empty your lungs. Deep breath in. Okay. That was a few seconds right here. That was a lot longer than having no straw, because I have a very controlled airstream, but only that much can fit through here. The good thing is this really helps you practice a very steady airstream and gives you a better feeling how you're using your muscles, your diaphragm, for example, to push out the air upward through your vocal cords in a more controlled way, which is what we usually want in singing. Controlled airflow, evened out, so it's not wobbly. Now, of course, you can sing pitches with a straw. You can sing low pitches, middle pitches, high pitches. does become harder when you go higher in head voice because naturally you need more opening. And since you're closing your lips pretty much, it gets really hard to sing higher in head voice. It is, however, an amazing practice to practice compression and really lifting the soft palate and keeping the pharyngeal spaces open back here, although you're closing the front. This is really important. It's an important aspect of these exercises, although it is semi-occluded, meaning you're closing part of this tract where the air comes out, like your mouth or your soft palate back in your throat, or your tongue goes up and, closes off the passage part of the way. You still want to create space so there's better resonance. So back in your pharynx right here, you can still create that space. So let's practice something. Now, I want you to use the straw, but now there's this NG sound you can make. So think, of course, when you do, it's like a ooh. So think of ngoo, 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 like right? Like U-N-G, 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 oong, oong, oong. So try it with a straw and try to only close the NG, which means the soft palate and the back of your tongue meet. Close that off. And in that moment, you can feel the vibration coming here. And when you open again, you can feel the vibration here, like your lips and your straw vibrate. If you're doing it right, you can feel this extreme difference between here and your mask vibration. When you do the nothing comes through your mouth, and then as soon as you open that back of your throat up toward the you feel the vibration right here and around your lips. This is really important because, usually where the air flows, that is a lot of where your resonance will go and your sound waves will flow. It's almost like the air helps push it outward, and there are structures, either more in the front of your mouth or more around your nasal passages or your sinuses or even your forehead that can vibrate. So becoming more aware of, does it vibrate more down here or does it vibrate more here, is really important for when you're trying to sound a certain way when you sing songs. Let's do something else. Let's do the L. That's not quite as closed. It's just the tongue that curls upward. So there's still some airstream coming through the mouth, but there is a lot more coming through your nose than when you're open. So like, for example, loo, loo, loo. Now we're going to actually use this. Try to keep the inside of your mouth in a nice open ooh towards the ooh, because if you stay nasal on the ooh, then it doesn't really change a lot. If you're doing it right, you can feel how on the it adds some of this nasal buzz right here. It vibrates, and as soon as you open back up and the tongue doesn't touch the hard palate anymore, there's more vibration here again, right around here. So being aware of where the vibration takes place is really good. I actually like those straw exercises and the Sovt exercises for really being more aware of where the air flows and how the compression affects your resonance also. However, now we don't really need the straw. It is helpful, but you can do Sovt exercises without the straw, and that is by using those kind of sounds that have a semi-occluded vocal tract, meaning you have something that creates some resistance for the airstream that comes through your vocal cords. So you can do a ma, 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 ma. So you can hear the difference and feel the difference between the vibration here and the vibration more like all over when you're opening the ah. You want the sound waves to sound in as many places as you possibly can, because it gives you a fuller sound. So when you're having an ah, of course, that's your chance. I mean, air can go all over the place here, and when you're doing a you don't want to go when you close off everything. There's not really a lot of buzz happening except just in your nose right here, which you don't want. You want more resonance. That's, otherwise it sounds very, very nasal. Or you can do the nga, 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 nga. Or you can sing just on the You make an ah shape, but you're staying on the NG. You can do the same with the M. You're thinking of an ah shape, but you're actually singing an M, but you're opening up the inside of your mouth as much as you can. Now I've combined this resonance here and this resonance here. Try it out. And it's really fun when you start feeling the buzz and how the airstream really reacts depending on how much resistance you create. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. Check out more free resources to brush up on your vocal technique on my website, masteryourvoice.tv. And if you have not read my book yet, you need to read my book for more motivation and tips on vocal technique. It's called Master Your Voice. You can get it on Amazon, and on my website you can also find the audiobook version. Have a wonderful week. I'll see you next time. Until then, always keep a song in your heart and always keep on singing. Amazing